Good evening, everyone. This is Rachel Kovac, a part of your Summer 1 525 class at Brandman University. And for our 5E's presentation, I decided to hit 7th grade ecosystems. This is going to be the ecosystems in the state of California and how students can study the relationships in nature and that help us grow. So for this one, I chose 7th grade level 7 because I have decided to explore some of the middle school curriculum to expand my horizons in education. The category is in life science, and under the new Common Core standards, this falls under category MSLS2, Ecosystems, Interactions, Energy, and Dynamics. So the goals are that students will understand nature's impact on California. Students will observe how each creature makes a significant impact on one another. Students will develop a heightened understanding on natural consequences that occur in nature. And students will be able to make educated predictions about human, animal, and plant interactions with additions of environmental factors. So you're just exploring how each creature, regardless of its size, regardless of its species, does affect one another. This is what the student should know before this activity. California is known for its temperate climate and beautiful scenery. According to the Department of Agriculture, California provides the majority of produce in the entire United States. By this time, I'm assuming that students are reading informational texts that discuss California. They have an understanding of their place around them. And if they do not, I will provide this article that I quoted for them. California's range of wildlife is broad due to the variety of its terrain, example, mountains, beaches, and desert. Many of our kids live all over California. So some have been to Big Sur, some have been to the desert area, some have explored San Francisco, and the weather is insane for them. So for them to understand that that's all in one state and creatures thrive in different environments is something I want them to continue thinking about. Curious questions for them to have. What plant and animal relationships exist to help California be successful? Keep in mind, I don't want them to think about the human part. I want them to think about plants and animal relationships. Outside of us, what makes us successful? Now, with all our thoughts going toward the drought, these students should be asking themselves, does our water supply affect our ecosystem? And what is our influence as humans on our ecosystem? This is their investigation. It's a classroom scavenger hunt. The supplies needed will need curious students. They'll need to form investigative teams. Each team will have one computer. They'll use their ISNs or individual subject notebooks for note taking and pencils. There's nothing worse than scratched out teenager ink. So pencils only, they should be able to erase. In these investigative science teams that are no larger than 3, groups will be given a mystery item in a brown paper bag. It is their group's responsibility to discuss what their clue is. Once students decide on their plant or animal, they will be given 20 minutes to discover 3 facts about their chosen subject and its relationship to California. All their discoveries need to be written in their ISNs before they go to the evidence table to show their findings. They need to compile evidence now. Once these investigative teams have gathered their evidence, they'll work together to compile their findings into a chained ecosystem. They must identify their subject, provide 3 traits about them, and say what their current status is in California. This gives groups time to investigate and learn about their chosen subject. Each group must identify 2 species, plant or animal, that rely on their chosen subject. Sorry guys, no humans. Humans are too much of an easy way out. They need to find other creatures, plant or animal. They must provide two reasons for why it's successful. Their discovery goals. In their ecosystem discoveries, students should be able to answer three questions. What is the subject's greatest strength and weakness when living in California? Is this subject being affected by our current drought? Can I, you brilliant youngster, help this subject to thrive and improve its quality of life? By seventh grade, they're starting to think outward. They want to think about how their presence affects the world. How can they help or hurt their chosen creature? Here is an example for the class. I chose strawberries, which in their bag would be a little strawberry waiting for them. Based on our brief internet research, California produces 80% of strawberries for the United States, even though they're grown in every state. See how I cite each page? The students need to provide that. Strawberries were considered a medicinal herb during the time of ancient Rome. Interesting fact. Strawberries are a hand-picked fruit. And now the black vine weevil thrives on wild strawberries for survival. Don't even know what that creature is before this research, but it's nice to know it eats strawberries. Deer eat strawberries as one of their main food sources. Since I grew up by the beach, I would have never known this. With current water shortages in California, strawberries will be in slower supply. Each group should make an evidence table that looks like this. Theirs will have more facts and more details, but this is all I found to be appropriate for an internet slide. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this brief presentation about California ecosystems. I hope you find that this would challenge your typical 7th graders, and I am looking forward to seeing all your projects. Thank you very much and have a great night. Bye-bye.